Hello, beautiful Cancer. How are you? Hope you have been doing well. I am Iris and I am here to do your August 2019 spiritual guidance reading. Thank you so much for being here and watching. Your time is important to me, and I appreciate you spending your time with me and for allowing me into your space. So I have shuffled the cards off camera. I have meditated on your energy. So I'm just going to do a couple of loose shuffles, and then I'll cut the deck, and then I'll get started with your reading straight away. So let's see what is going on for Cancer for the month of August 2019. Here we go, Cancer. Okay, you've got Ace of Autumn. That's like your windfall of money. Then we have the Six of Winter. Oh, wow, good things happening for you. The Five of Spring. Oh, the High Priestess. I love that card. Doesn't matter who it comes out for. Five of Autumn. The Prince of Spring. The King of Winter. My gosh, the King of Winter has come out in so many of the readings today. Three of Autumn. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. And the Eight of Summer. You were the only one who got the Eight of Summer this month. Okay, Cancer, let's check it out. Let's see what your guidance is. So for many of you, you have seen a change not only in your career, your money, but some really positive changes are coming your way. You're feeling ambitious. You're surrounded, I think, by people who are might be overly ambitious. You yourself are ambitious, I'm feeling. And I think that you are transitioning from a place of, let's do this card first, a place of where there was like a lot of icy, choppy water, and now you're heading into a smoother time in your life. And with that smoother time in your life comes more financial prosperity as well, because you've been very dedicated and ambitious to what it is that you've been doing. But I think that you've also experienced a little bit of conflict along the way that needed to be resolved, compromised on, agree to disagree. This is a card of conflict, you know, nothing chaotic or anything like that, but conflict that needed to be resolved. So I think in your past, you know, you've seen some definite forward movement in your life. I think you're starting to see that more and more show up for you more and more. Dealing with the conflict, though, to deal with that conflict, because you might have opposing goals, and sometimes you just have to agree to disagree. And I think that for many of you, that this card actually relates to, you know, that the agree to disagree might also mean, okay, well, we're not going to do this together anymore. But for some of you, it's like, okay, so we don't agree on it, and that is what it is. Can we just move forward? Okay. But I think that you have already experienced a level of success in whatever it is that you're doing. And I think that it is a project, because at the bottom of your reading, you've got the Three of Autumn, which is about focusing on what it is you're doing, just to follow your passion, and just, you know, This is what's going to create your financial stability, the stability in your overall life, to the point where you feel like, I'm in a really good place right now, and I feel really good about what's going on and what I've created for myself. So that's what that card is. But let's focus in on the center of your reading, because in the center of your reading, you have the High Priestess. So I think that the High Priestess talks about, she is not the High Priestess, even though it's a she, and I refer to her as a she. It doesn't have to be a she, but this is about going within and trusting your intuition, like collecting all of the knowledge that you have and your own inner guidance, because as you move forward, there are changes and new things coming in for you, and I'll show you that card here in a moment. But as these things happen for you, you have to really be trusting of yourself and listening to yourself for guidance. Like, sometimes people will have the best advice that they have for us and on any given situation, but they're always coming from it through the lens of the experiences that they have had. Well, those are experiences, aren't your experiences. And this is not like, there's a difference between following the advice of people who have had success in an area of their life where you are wanting to have that same type of success. In those instances, it is good to take into consideration when they share the successes that they have. When other people provide their opinion and insight onto something about what you should be doing in order to achieve your own level of success, when they themselves have not had any prior experience in it themselves and experience that success, then they are projecting their own experiences and opinions onto you based on their position and what they themselves have experienced. And it's all meant for good intents, and I'm not sure why I'm going so deep into this part of it, but obviously it's a message that someone needs to hear, or a few of you need to hear. So it's differentiating between who you trust, and at the end of the day, you have to be able to trust yourself and go with information that you feel is the right information for you at this particular point in time. And that's what I feel I needed to share with you, that difference between taking advice from people who have had success on that road and can, say, well, that's actually not really good, I would do it this way, versus, oh, that's not very good, I would do it this way, but have no experience of having done that themselves. I hope you understand what I'm saying there. At the end of the day, trust yourself. That's what the High Priestess is, because the High Priestess, she removes the fluff. She's very certain. Like, you look at her face. Can you see her face? And the look on her face as well. She's going to trust her own internal book of knowledge, and she's going to cut through the crap, so to speak. So for some of you, you're feeling a little bit financially challenged and might need to get some support from other people to help you on that next step. And support is all around you. Like, not only do you have your own intuition that's going to support you, but there's like fast moving action coming in for you as well. So this Prince of Spring, he is on his speedy rabbit there. It's a hare, and they're just flying through these. There was another sign that had this as well, and I think that this has to do with a project that you're working on, or something that you're working on. And it's success. You're going to have a lot of success with this. But again, trust your intuition. Sometimes when you go fast, you miss some opportunities. That just came in as well. That is a message for somebody else. So sometimes, even though we want to go fast, we have to slow our roll a little bit, or slow somebody else's roll if this is a partnership that you're working with, right? Because if you go too fast, the universe likes speed, right? But if you go too fast, you sometimes can skip over the opportunities that are showing up for you along the way as well. So that's very interesting. So on one hand, you've experienced an influx of cash. You're rounding the corner to greater success, calmer waters. Yet there's a little bit of conflict. Then you've got this, okay, you know what? I'm just going to do what's best for me. I'm going to trust my own instinct. But then it's like, okay, well, there's a little bit of financial stress that I'm picking up. But then you've got forward movement again that's going to get you to success as well. And so at the bottom of your reading, you've got the King of Winter. And I've said it before, this is like Gandalf the Great from Lord of the Rings. He's wise. He's doesn't have a lot of emotion, but he's very, very wise, and he can give you some really great advice. Very wise, very knowledgeable. I think that's a support for you that's there for you. And if he hasn't come in, and it doesn't have to be a he, it can be a she, it is coming in for you. And should you accept the support, which I think would be good, it's going to help you with your project. It's really going to help you. And the autumn cards, again, they're all about stability, security, right? So the more focusing in on your project and your career, just really be the best you can be at what you do, and you're going to be compensated very well for what you're creating here. A lot of signs are in that creation mode, and because you're moving towards a more meaningful, a happier life. This is like the new journey card. This is you deciding to make new changes in your life, and you're fully supported doing that, Cancer. Let's see what Wisdom of the Oracle has to contribute and say about this reading. Some of you might even have a new relationship, a real fiery relationship coming in. That might take up some of your time and attention. So deep knowing came out, and deep knowing, there it is, flexible is the other one. Okay, so deep knowing is you have a sense, like, you see that wise old owl there? That's our own internal wise old owl, and it follows alongside the High Priestess, right? You ultimately know when decisions need to be made about what's best for you and which direction you want to go. You already know, right? When you quiet your mind and turn off the buzz of the world around you, you already know what it is that you want to do and how you want to do it. And I think that you really have to trust that. And at the same time, you have to remain flexible. Right? So if we're like stones, not stones. if we're like a tree that can't bend in the wind, our branches are going to snap. So we have to remain flexible and open to new ideas, new concepts, things like that, and then see how we can integrate that. And if it works for us, maybe part of it can work for us, maybe part of it doesn't work. Take what is good and throw out the rest. Because we're all unique, right? So even though somebody could pave the way for us and have really good ideas, by staying true to who we are and trusting ourselves and always evolving from a place of who we are instead of who other people think we should be, or in order to have success, or do it this way because it'll be better. But if you lose your, and again, this is all just kind of coming in, so it might only be just for a few of you, but when you sacrifice yourself, you're not in alignment with yourself, and you don't get the outcome that is waiting there for you. I hope that makes sense. Radiance, summer solstice radiance. What a beautiful card in terms of the colors. The message, I'm sure, is going to be beautiful too. It's a new deck for me, and I've only read from the deck, or from the book in this deck, a couple of times, and I think I'd like to read this one for you to get the full meaning. Summer solstice radiance, 134. All right, 134, radiance. The word solstice originates from the Latin word solstitium, which means stationary or stopped. This is because twice during the solar year, the sun appears to rise and set in the same place for several days. That I did not know. It seems to be taking a much needed rest before making the next circuit across the sky from one solstice to another. Its ceaseless, predictable certainty having existed since before the time of our ancestors. There are stories in many cultures that personify the sun as a deity, either male or female, often riding the sun across the sky in a boat or a chariot. With the summer solstice comes the culmination of the sun's travels that have led to the longest days of the year. The light is now at its fullest and has provided its brand of nourishment to the land and all of its inhabitants. Celebration and ceremonies abound. Passion and playfulness are themes. We feel an innate desire to be outdoors in the natural world and reap the benefits of the longest days of the year. We instinctually seek the light, and during this cycle there is an abundance of it. Let the radiance of the sun inspire your inner radiance to shine forth. Release your concerns about what may happen in the future and focus on appreciating everything you have that is good and right. Allow Father Sun to take away your worries and cares. So a lot of financial stability type, security type stuff. Do something physically active to stimulate your inner light, dancing, but most important, get outdoors. Do not let any negative thoughts or habits stop you. When you are in love with life, you naturally radiate that love. During this part of your cycle, your capacity to love is greatly amplified. In one of these supreme ironies of life, the more love you give, the more returns to you. It starts by allowing the radiant being you truly are to be expressed into the world. And I like that, because that is that piece of us that I was talking about, that we have to always come from a place of our own authenticity. And I think that's really important, because we're all really unique. Okay. It starts by allowing the radiant being you truly are to be expressed into the world. Smile a little more, notice the beauty of nature, see the humor and the paradoxes of life. Show your love especially to those with whom you are closest, then smile even more and watch how the world around you lights up. That's a really beautiful, uplifting, inspiring message. I love that. Okay, let's get one more. I'm really loving this new deck. Okay, here we go. I'm going to pull one from the middle right about there. Here we go. Grounding. Okay, this is great too. Not that I feel that you're high flying off the ground or anything like that, but I think a lot of our hopes and dreams, they have deep roots to them. And sometimes we don't see what's the actual growth for a long time. Most of the growing happens beneath the surface. But for you, I feel that this is more about the tree's growth having a solid foundation. And I think that that's what you've been working on, is creating something that's really stable on a solid foundation that has a lot of deep roots. And I feel that you have already started to experience the growth and even some of the blossoms. And that's what I'm getting from this card. I didn't read the book on this one, but that's what I'm getting from this card. So Cancer, I hope that you have resonated with this reading. If you do, please leave a comment below. I would love to hear what is going on for you in your life and how I can support you. Thank you so much for watching and for liking and subscribing and sharing this video. If you would like to book a personal reading with me or book in for an energy healing session, because I am a light worker as well, all of the details and information on how you can get in touch with me are below this video. And until I see you again, Cancer, I am sending you so much love and success and support for the month of August. And we will see you for the next video. Bye.